Here we go, team. Another week and another episode. This one was a little wild. We may or may not have got off track, and there might be some little Easter eggs towards the end of the episode, so make sure you listen the whole way in. If you can, hit the subscribe button on the platform that you like listening to. That would make sure that we know we're heading in the right direction. This episode is brought to you by Christchurch City to Surf, the race that turns your Sunday run into an unforgettable adventure. Whether you're a seasoned runner chasing a PB or just looking for a fun way to move with friends and family, the City to Surf is for you. It's 14k of pure Christchurch magic, starting in the city and winding its way to the coast, with a fun, inclusive atmosphere, a 6k option for those who want a shorter challenge, and the city's best running vibes. It's a perfect way to experience Christchurch on foot. So lace up, sign up, and we'll see you at the start line. Hey, it's Oska from the Front Runner Colombo.
And Tom from Front Runner Colombo.
And Kat from Back on Track Sports.
And you are listening to Run Spesh, our weekly running specialty podcast where we talk about the human locomotive movement. We call running in the hope that we can keep you company on one of those locomotive movements through the week. Maybe part ways with some little bit of knowledge, maybe a few laughs. Maybe none of those things. Maybe. I don't know, I was just thinking. Well, so here we go. I just want to say at the top of this, if you haven't listened to the podcast that Tom and I recorded with Caden Shields earlier in the week, it was released on Monday night to be the episode before this one. If you're on Spotify or YouTube, you should listen to that.
Yeah.
Man got wisdom.
He has a lot of knowledge.
Got experience.
But, I was literally just a passenger on that plane.
Mm. I don't think I'd let him fly the plane I was in. I
think
think it's
I
quite
would.
that wise.
It's pretty
Tom's
switched.
got all the faith.
He's pretty switched on.
Yeah, he'd figure it out.
Yeah, he'd figure it out.
No, it was a fantastic interview. He was very open
Yeah,
with pretty much everything.
yeah.
And some of the struggles he'd had. So you should listen. Everyone listening should listen. You should listen to that before you listen to us. I don't know what you guys think.
It's probably a more serious one.
You'll get some knowledge out of him that will help.
Some little nuggets.
There are a lot of golden nuggets in that.
Speaking of nuggets, Athletics New Zealand deserve a big pile of nuggets.
A big pile of coal.
Yeah. I didn't want to bring this up.
I think it's important though.
Yeah. I want to bring this up for a few reasons.
Yep.
The first reason is it's shit. And I'll explain why. So last night, a dad put on the New Zealand distance running page that he'd made a mistake. Dads make mistakes. That's the first reason I wanted to bring this up.
People make mistakes.
Yeah.
Oscar can relate.
I've made a lot of mistakes, probably just even today. So he made a mistake. He forgot to enter his under 16-year-old girl at Nationals in Dunedin this weekend. He'd paid for flights and accommodation to the value of about $2,500 to get them both down there. He'd organised the grandparents to come and watch her have a run. He approached Athletics New Zealand last week and said, "Hey, I made a mistake. Can you let my daughter run in a 3,000 metre event with 10 people in it? In a 10,000 metre event with 10 people in it, that's a women's race.
3,000.
3,000, sorry. That we are trying to encourage more young ladies." And Kat's looking like she wants to say something. We're trying to encourage more young ladies.
Yeah, I mean, they've been working on like the grassroots for years, aren't they? Trying to get us all
Yeah.
moving up, but doesn't seem like it.
So I'm... In some instances, I understand that it would not be possible. Say if you've done the lane draws, the 800 metre field is full, the 400 metre field is full. I get it. Like that stuff probably has to be worked out, seedings and things. But in a distance race where you can have a waterfall start up to 25 or 24 or whatever the number is now, what are we doing?
Killing sport.
Yeah.
Yep. Simply put.
Like,
That is genuinely.
so we have a new CEO and we have a new head of track and field events.
Yep.
They had a opportunity to set a new precedents, around this situation. And I'm saying, me at 30 something years old, if I forget to enter myself, that's on me.
Yeah.
Like, and I shouldn't be seen I shouldn't be given the same leniency, so I should know better. Like, fair enough. But there should still be some way of perhaps allowing a late entry into a distance race because it's a lot easier, right? If a busy dad who travels for work overseas simply makes a mistake, should she be allowed to run?
Absolutely.
Yep. Get 11 people on the start line. Come on.
If
That was
I'm,
ridiculous.
if I'm her, I'm going down and I'm just running.
Yeah.
I'm
jump
standing on the start line and say, you come pull me off.
I think everyone would respect it too. And they're like, let her run.
Yeah.
I'm so mad at our sport right now. I feel I feel ashamed.
Yeah. It's
That-
disgraceful.
Yeah, this young lady who's obviously put in probably 4 or 5 months of training, which is sad enough as it is because we all know the commitment the three of us make to our craft. That she's not going to be able to have a run. I put a poll up last night on our front run Instagram. Should she be able to run? We had 170 votes in about 4 hours. Only 9 people said no, and those 9 people, shame on you.
They work for Athletics New Zealand.
I just and I get maybe resource. How's that all going to look? We don't want bedlam the night before the race, all that sort of stuff. I've been on both sides of this coin.
They simply just had to add one more name to the list of people in that event.
So I don't know if anyone. I know Dawson listens to this, but he's just taking photos. We're not gonna blame him. I like Muggy, but I don't know if anyone's listened to this. But man,
I need to change that.
for a sport that has recently been told that we're second tier, like we're no longer top tier sport,
Yeah.
mate. Grow up.
Can't be top tier if we have no one competing in it.
Yeah.
And that's the way it's heading.
So anyway, that's my grump. Thank you for allowing me the space to communicate that grump, team. I know that but I'm glad we all agree on it. So let her run. I hope she gets to run, and if she doesn't,
She better.
yeah. And if she doesn't get to have a run, I hope that someone sets something up for her to run. Hopefully, the Wellington
If she doesn't get to run, I hope she comes back and wins like New Zealand cross country champs and just
pulls the fingers.
yeah.
For Australia.
In their face. Yeah.
You get another
Shame on you.
yeah, just yeah. Or she just goes and plays for like the Silver Ferns or the Black Sticks. Or
Yeah,
something.
goes and plays
Plays another
hockey.
sport. No, she should stay in the sport. But I hope Athletics Wellington sets something up or something so she can have a go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's. If I'm Jenny and Holmes, I'm closing the checkbook. Honestly, if it was like the front runner, Athletics New Zealand National Track and Field, I'm saying you will get no money
Yeah.
out of me if you
Agreed.
don't if you don't make this happen. That's how passionate I feel about this. Anyway, that's a very serious start to our podcast. We're actually not a serious podcast. Well, we are a serious podcast, but we normally have a few more laughs than that. So hopefully we can bring it back to some lols. And by now, you guys are run a couple of K into your run. You've probably loosened up a little bit. Cat's looking pretty tired.
It's been a long week.
Cat's like, you guys could have recorded this on your own.
Hang it in there.
Okay, so last week, Kat gave us the story about how someone came into the shop and asked if they could paint her naked running on a treadmill. Yes, that happened.
It did.
Not a made-up story. No, it was not me or Tom.
That would be workplace harassment.
Yeah, there'd be an HR complaint, which is my wife, which would be weird.
We would fire ourselves probably.
It'd be even weirder if Kat said yes. So I put a poll up. The poll question was, how much money would someone have to... Oh, there was the other part, is the guy offered us $75.
Yeah.
Which, I guess...
No, it's not.
It's not okay.
Near enough.
Yeah. How much money would someone have to pay you to paint you naked running on a treadmill? That was the poll question. We had, to my surprise, like 100 people respond to this because there's a bunch of people going, nope, I'm not even
involving myself
in that. So 19 people, 16% said less than $100. 100% of those people were men.
Ooh.
Guess what, everyone? We've found the artist and he wants you guys to meet us in store. You get to be painted.
14% of the vote said more than 500. 30% of the vote said more than 1,000, and 40% said has to be 7 numbers.
I mean, yeah, 7 numbers.
Where do you see it when they're Tom? How desperate are you for a new bike?
Pretty desperate, and that costs about 20K. So yeah, I'm going up somewhere around there.
So Mac had this idea. We were talking on the phone yesterday. Mac had this idea where we could create the Last Supper, the painting of Jesus sitting with his disciples.
Oh no,
We could create the Last Supper, but call it the Last Runner,
the last runner.
and have a bunch of people painted in a painting running naked on a treadmill.
Well, we'll have 9
Yeah, at least 19.
or
even.
19.
No,
Sorry.
19. And then we can pay them all less than $100, and we can sell the artwork off for charity.
What charity's
gonna be
going to want
buying
that?
I reckon the artist would buy it. He might add a little bit more paint to it afterwards.
Yeah, he's going to do something to it.
A little bit of clear
man.
ceiling.
If he's listening, he's stoked right now. He's got 19 new people.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to add some
What's that? 19 times 75.
some sealant. So,
Oh, funny.
yeah, I'm glad we can laugh at it. It's creepy as hell.
It's creepy. It's crazy.
So I feel like this has been a very controversial week in lots of reasons, or the last sort of 10 days. I wanted to bring up this Ironman banned shoe list.
Oh yeah, I've got it right here.
Is there anything left to run in?
Yeah,
No, there's a lot. That's the thing. There's not a lot banned.
Oh,
but the
Yeah,
ones
yeah.
they've banned are weird.
weird.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, the Adidas Prime Extra, completely agree. It's illegal everywhere. Superblast, Novablast, and Novablast 5 is very interesting to me. Like, why?
So,
Just, I mean, it's over the stack height, but also they don't really give you a competitive edge. I don't think.
So there's two things that I want to cover off here. The first one is the World Athletics Standard was simply made for Nike shoe at the time.
Yeah.
So they were 39.9 mil, whatever, Alpha Fly 1. And so, or Vaporfly, whatever, next percent. They just decided to make it an arbitrary 40 mil because Nike were like, well, we can't remake a year's worth of shoes tomorrow, so you're going to have to
Adapt to what we have.
Yeah, you're going to have to adapt to what we have. And just so happens that Sebco was a Nike athlete. Okay, go figure. I smell corruption. I'm just begging. I'm going hard at Nike. But let's be fair. There is no competitive benefit for anyone who's not a top 10 athlete running in a Speed 4 or a Nova Blast 5.
Yeah.
So what we had in the shop was people panicking the week before Topor, thinking that they were going to get disqualified for running in the shoes that they'd simply been training in.
Yeah.
And you go, Tom. You go.
Is this list for everyone or is
Wow,
it just for pros?
That's what I don't understand. But no pros wearing any of those.
No, exactly. But some might. I could see some trying to use the Adidas
The Prime.
Prime.
But it's so heavy.
Yeah.
It's like 290 grams or 300 something grams.
Yeah.
There's no competitive advantage. Like you can have a spring, but if the spring weighs half a kilo,
Because people run in everything at Ironmans.
yeah.
They're in their training shoes, which are a lot of them are over 40 mil.
So it's
Are they just basing it off a stack height?
Yeah.
So that's my question.
Why don't they do it stack height with a plate or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so then my question for the three of us to debate was is stack height alone enough to ban
No.
a shoe?
No, I don't think so.
So what do we feel like is what should be banned, what shouldn't be allowed?
A legal stack plate. It has to have a plate
Yeah.
and super foam.
So that's what qualifies as a racing shoe in my regard. So you needed to have it under 40 mil, which there's an element probably of like athlete safety. Like you think if you go 45, 50, 55, 60, like at some point someone's going to hurt themselves, right?
Yeah.
Like so 40 mil I could live with. And then also like they just end up feeling a bit clumpy. Like you're running that super comp trainer from New Balance, not to pick on them. Like it's not nice. Like
It's not fast shoe either.
no, it's a super cruiser. I put it in the super cruiser category.
Has anyone done any research around like what stack height is the most efficient and? Oh no, none. So they just picked a number and like.
Yeah,
okay.
this is a wild story. Do you know how like most shoes, probably say 2000 to 2015 were all 10 mil pitch, like roughly. Do you know the only reason they came up there with numbers because 3 pediatric surgeons sat in a room and decided that it should be 10 mil? There's no evidence.
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
Like, they just went, a centimetre.
That'll do. Perfect. Done. Next.
Yeah. At a time when I don't even think the Americans used centimetres.
That's good.
No, that's where you use inches.
Yeah. A quarter of an inch.
Yeah.
That's how big it is. That's how big Trump is. Well, that was... I don't normally get political.
Yeah, let's not
go
get
there.
political now.
So my thoughts on this is the list is random. People were panicking. Their experience going into the race now is like, do I need to change? Who cares? Like, why have they decided to, So I think so there's athlete safety. I don't think you should have a shoe over 40 mil, probably, because I don't know if it's going higher is better, especially with those Ironman courses that have heaps of 180-degree turns. Like, you might be doing multiple laps. I think you have to have 2 plates in it. Because you have a P-Bax and a carbon,
Yeah, the structure of the shoes questionable then.
Yeah. Or do you have to put a limit on energy return? Like, because if we're saying the foam is where the magic is, and Saucony's the only brand that has a foam at 96% energy return, and everyone else is only 88, that's an unfair advantage.
Yeah, that's right.
More of it's more of an unfair advantage than a plate.
Yep.
Do we think?
I would agree. Yeah.
I feel very ranty today.
So it's hard to control it. Like,
you just have to limit shoes. Like, how are they going to improve shoes then? It's just nothing's going to change.
I don't know what the answer is there, but I think like, who cares if some large human being who's having a go at an Ironman triathlon, fucking kudos to them, feels most comfortable in a Skyward X because it gets him through a marathon. He's not, or she is not, interfering with the race in any way. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
No?
I think the ban list should just be for the professionals,
pros.
really. Like, anyone just going out there and doing it should be able to wear whatever they're comfortable in.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Like
and half the time the pros aren't going to opt for a banned shoe anyway because it's not the fastest, so it doesn't really matter.
What was interesting about that is Nike dropping Vaporfly 4 pictures the same day that Saucony released the Endorphin Elite 2. That's clever.
Yeah.
But they're going down to 35 mil.
Yeah.
In the heel.
Yep.
They're going the other way because they're going, okay,
They're trying to screw up the market.
Well, maybe they've done some research and figured
And
35
figured
is
out 35.
actually a good stack.
that I agree with. Yeah. I'm not totally convinced. Anyway, so that's just where I'm at. That's where I'm at today.
I have no idea. I think when you're doing an Ironman, you just want to be comfortable.
Yeah.
Especially for the people that are out there just to finish it. Shouldn't matter.
Well, it's the same when we're on the track and we're not allowed to wear friggin' the racing flats. I want to be comfortable on the track.
Yeah. I want to run track.
I'm not going to run
Also,
something
what's 5
insane.
mil as well? Why did they drop the stack height 5 mil from 25 to 20?
Yeah.
What does that do? Just makes a whole lot of spikes that people have already bought illegal.
Is that because Dragonfly 2 was 20 mil?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
That's probably why.
But I agree with you, Kat. We want participation. Like, let's talk it on a regional level or a national level. Like, I'm not talking the Olympics, that's different, or like Commonwealth Games, World Champs. But like at a national, regional level, we just want participation.
Yep.
Like, maximum participation and people involved. Like, if Tom can get a TUE, which is a therapeutic use exemption, for an asthma inhaler, because his lungs struggle to work in the cold, why can't I wear a road racing shoe because my Achilles struggles to work in the cold?
Yeah.
What's
Literally.
the difference?
Yeah, there's no difference there.
So if I've got a note from my physio to say Oska's Achilles is fucked because he's given 16 years of his life to the sport, and he'd like to come.
He just wants some comfort.
I just want some comfort, but I still want to be involved, so the field has an extra body in it, as long as I get my entry in on time.
Well played.
Like, why can't? I mean,
People like power. That's all it comes down to.
Yeah,
They like to control stuff.
well said, Tommy. No, honestly, I think it's true. I think like, I get that there needs to be rules and regulations, otherwise it's bedlam. But like, we like I say, we as in our sport, no longer control our sport.
No.
We're like the only sport in the world that doesn't control, because the sport's now privatized out of sight of the volunteer-based aspect of our sport. So we're losing the battle. Like, we're going to, I think between Queenstown, Christchurch, Wellington, Auckland, and Hawke's Bay marathons, there's like 50,000 entries. We have 10 people running an under 16 women's 3K in Dunedin. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Yeah, anyway, I got back to ranting. I'm sorry. Kat.
I'm still here.
Catherine Camp. The Catherine Camp. Mate, you feeling okay?
I'm doing all right.
You shouldn't be. 170k is pretty crazy.
How many?
Yeah, it seems like, the sky's the limit with my mileage. Just keeps going up and up and up. No, I think we maxed out.
How many runs was that? 14?
I doubled every weekday, and then Saturday, Sunday was one.
Ooh.
Do you know how many laps of the track?
Oh my God, I dread to think.
Do you know how many laps of the track 170 k's?
No.
425.
Imagine doing that.
No.
Yeah, no.
I don't want to.
It's a lot. It's a lot. But I mean, I've been progressing over the last, 6 months really, just gradually. So to be honest with you, it didn't feel too bad. Like, yeah, there were some days I couldn't be bothered with my second run after work, but I don't know, it's habit. You just go and you do it. And eventually you get to Sunday and you're like, oh my God, I made it through the week. And then you enjoy it for about 6 hours, and then the Strava resets and it's at 0. And then you feel sad again.
Do you feel your confidence boosting? You said like
100%.
every milestone you kind of hit.
Yep.
Every session you do, you go, I ran 170k. Like,
I just feel like I've got like this jar that every week or every run I've just been like banking my trainings, and like my jar is getting pretty full now.
Because I remember sitting with John Quinn, who's a mental skills coach, and you're going to face this. You're going to be standing on the start line of London, and you're going to look that way, and you're going to see, fuck, she's pretty good. And you're going to look that way, and you're going to go, fuck, she's pretty good. And then you have to go, fuck, I'm pretty good.
No, yeah, honestly, the way I'm feeling now, I think when I get to the start line, I'm going to feel so confident in what I've done and so prepared that I don't even think I'll be looking at people around me, to be honest.
Nice.
I'll just, I've got my own race that I know I can run, and I'm just going to do that. Yeah.
Because you're looking pretty good on Saturday. You had a session.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Saturday, I felt like trash. I had 3 by 5K, and we all met at the park, and it was heaving down there.
It was something else.
Just so many people. Just every run club was there.
It's like an Amsterdam brothel.
Yeah.
Literally.
It was, yeah.
I've been away from Hagley Park on a Saturday morning for a long time now.
It was pretty busy. But yeah, I don't know. I think possibly the high mileage week, just feeling a bit flat, didn't feel smooth, like just felt out of rhythm a little bit. And yeah, I mean, I was hitting the paces, but I just didn't feel good. I just didn't feel myself, which was a little bit frustrating, but also kind of understood that I was bound to feel like this is the first time this has happened in this whole block.
Yeah.
Which is pretty amazing.
That is.
And it's right when, I'm at the peak really, mileage wise. So yeah, I kind of understand that it's happened. So it's fine. Like, I got through it and it was all good. And then my session, like long run the next day, went out and I was feeling fine. Like, I was all good. Ran 2.5 hours, 4:33s or something ridiculous. Around Bottle Lake too, which I never run that fast around Bottle Lake. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. It was just one of those days. Could have been the heat as well. It was pretty warm, like kind of humidity. But yeah, seemed to have bounced back from that, because yesterday I did a nice progression run. Started off at 4:10s and ended up at 3:20s. And one thing about me is I love a graph. I love a nice progressive, like a progression graph. So I went on to my Strava and it's this beautiful little graph there. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's been a good week.
I don't know if I could work out with you right now.
Kids fit.
Yeah, you might be able to hold on. Couple K.
I mean, it's a huge achievement. A huge achievement, just to have that ticked off, and that I like the mindset. Like, you know, you kind of you just stand on the start line and be like, I want to be here. I belong here. I'm going to run real good.
Yeah.
And that's what the training's about, right?
Yeah, as long as I get to the start and I'm feeling as prepared as I can be, then anything can happen, really.
So your mileage is probably going to come down a wee bit.
Yeah, I won't go any.
And you won't-
Well, I did message Craig. I was like, please, God, no more.
I just like the fact that Craig will be like, if he actually said, please God, he'd be like, I am.
I am. That is I, God.
That is I.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, go you. I rolled my ankle on Sunday.
Yeah, I was there. You almost took me down with you.
Yep. Yep. Do you know last week I had a shitty week, right? And I'm normally the most energetic, happy-go-lucky, fucking, I'm everyone's hype man. But we had 2 sick kids and I had 2 sick kids and a sick wife. Sleep was at a premium. I didn't sleep too bad, but it was still like late and early kind of stuff. And I don't know what happened, but the week at work was just mental.
It was
Like,
manic.
I don't know. Like this week's definitely been more manageable, but last week was just fuck. And I think I tried to do too many things for too many people in too many places. When I probably should have just honed in on like making sure that everyone was happy at home and that the basics were done at work. And I tried to do everything, and that was a mistake. So, joke's on me. Still learning stuff. So I had an unreal workout on Saturday. I did 2 by 25 minutes. I ran the first 25 minutes with Henry, Chris, Paul, and There's
a bunch of the UC
and
kids.
someone. It's gone. Sorry, someone. And Kyle. And we averaged like 321s, and I was feeling so smooth. So this is beautiful. I was wearing what did I have on? Oh, Saucony Endorphin Elite 2s. And then I did the second 25 minutes, and I averaged 313s, and I dropped everyone. So, asshole. I was feeling really good, and I was like, this is sweet. And then came to work. Saturday was crazy. Katie was no good. I ended up going home at 11:30.
That's right.
And walking Obi around, our son, who's like 6 months old, who was also sick. I put him in the front pack and walked for an hour and a half so he would sleep, so Katie could sleep. And so I did that from like 11:30, had lunch on the run, left home at 2:15, came back, did an hour and a half of work, then sat down with Tom and Kay and recorded the podcast, then tried to have some more food, then went in 45 minutes in the gym, then went and picked up dinner for Katie, because I already know having a daughter, went to my parents' place just to give us some space, because she'd not been feeling well as well. And then I crawled into bed at like 10 to 10 and just done. Lights out. And then I had a pretty horrible sleep because I was just thinking about lots of stuff. You know when you finish your work at week, your week of work, and you haven't completed everything? And the tasks are in your brain, like, fuck, I forgot to do that. I got to do that. And it was hard to because like the end of the month, so I was paying stuff. And it's like, fuck, I didn't do that. God damn it, Oska. Like, just angry at myself. And then I got up, and because on the Thursday I had gone home early and not run again, I was going to join that short run with my short run on Sunday and do like 75. And then obviously we're in the forest. It was really good to see some young UC guys. And then, roll my ankle like 28 minutes into the run. And now it's strapped and taped. But I rang Matt straight away and I was like, please stop me from doing something stupid.
Because I still want to do my 2.
Yeah, I still want to do my
2
2.5 run. So yeah, but in saying that, I feel like all the work I've done on my ankle, like I have no pain now. It's a little bit laggy, but I can hop and I have no pain. So I feel like all the rehab I've done with my Instagram strobble board.
The Instagram
really come
board
through.
has come to.
And I was like straight on the bands, and I've got my little red light laser, and I was like
Rehabbing immediately.
So I'm a little bit gutted. I think that, and then obviously I found out about probably Boston not getting the bib, and then the week at work, and then rolling my ankle, and then the sick kids.
Everything comes at once.
It's like bang,
Always
man.
the way.
I was trying to be optimistic, but it's just, I can't all the time, So I might text Quinny and be like, mate, come sit with me for an hour and just talk me out of this hole. But I've made the decision of that I'll have a crack at the Christchurch race record.
What is the race record out of interest?
2:15:40-ish. Yep. No, 1980 something it was set. That's got to go.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, that does.
That's got to go.
All these guys complaining about super shoes, eh?
Yeah, my
Well,
second.
80s, there were different things going on. So.
Yeah, I know.
There's a lot of things.
Courses. Yeah. How long was that course?
Yeah. Fucking facts.
Yeah.
Horse tranquilizers. What else is happening?
I don't know, but they always seem to have something against the shoes.
Oh,
It's like, you guys still ran faster than us, so what are you mad about? Like,
Yep. A lot of acid
yeah.
in the 80s. Was that the 60s? What drug was in the 80s? And I wasn't there.
Don't ask me, I wasn't born.
Old cunts. Turbo doing turbo things.
Yeah, I don't know what that entails. I was just doing normal week of training. For me, nothing really exciting happened, I don't think. Just getting back into things, really. Trying to keep the body ticking over.
You ran in the Hoka Cielo X1 2.0.
Yes.
Still a dumb name.
Horrible name. Great shoe.
Call it just call it
Still
Cielo
dumb.
X2. Fuck.
Yeah, it was very nice. This is the first flat that I've tried out of the box, and I was very, very surprised. It still has its flaws, like we've talked about before, with the stability, and they just need to fill in that medial side. And I think possibly maybe a few drometers firmer. Like, it's really soft, but it does feel really lively. So I don't know. I only was running 330s, so it wasn't crazy quick. I'd like to try it at like 310s or something, to see if it responds any differently. But yes, it feels like you're running with a tailwind. Like,
That sounds nice.
you just get going and it just keeps turning you over effortlessly. And that was the first workout I've done. And it might be just because it wasn't a super intense workout or not. But I wasn't sore at all, like the next day. Like, I normally have some kind of residual calf. It feels tight or something like that. Or my quads are a little bit beat up. But nothing. So that was cool. I think they're on the right track. They're the Rocket X3, which is coming
if that's
later
the same
soon.
foam.
If that's the same foam,
Oh, baby.
because the medial side is filled in, that could be the shoe of the year. So I'm really hoping they have designed it similar. Very,
Call me daddy with an IE.
I was very surprised on
Kids not impressed.
how well that shape worked. Like having no flat spot in the shoe.
Do you know?
And I feel like it's in the right spot to just keep pushing you forward. So yeah,
I've just looked
excited.
up why they call it a racing flat.
Why do they call it a racing flat?
It is called such, which is Google AI is so dumb.
This is just AI.
Because it is a lightweight, minimal running shoe with a very small heel to toe drop, designed specifically for maximum speed during races. We can't call it a flat anymore.
No.
We've got to call it a fat.
Racing fat.
Racing fat?
Yeah.
What's the opposite of flat? High? Bendy? Curvy?
Pointy.
Pointy? Opposite. Do you know what I learned the other day while I looked this up to fill dead space before you start talking again? Opposite. Opposite of flat. Everyone's laughing at home right now. Vertical. A bumpy.
Bumpy, yeah. Flat and bumpy.
So we're calling it a bumpy? A race bumpy?
A race bumpy. There you go. We made a new shoe shoe category last week, and now we've...
Do you know what the opposite of destiny is,
Well, I do now because you told me last night.
Tom?
No.
Free will.
Free will.
So if you believe in destiny, you don't believe in free will?
So do you believe in destiny?
I don't know.
I don't.
I believe in Destiny's Child.
Yeah, I do.
I'm trying to comprehend how that works.
Because destiny is everything is planned out for you and you don't have any say in what happens. It's just the world has already created your plan.
Yeah.
And so you have no free will in that.
Well,
No.
you do.
No, you don't. Destiny has been created, Tom. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but is destiny a string of events that happens to an end goal, or is it just an end goal? Because there's a string of events that you choose that can still end up on destiny.
Yeah, but the destiny has already chosen those. That already knows that you're going to choose those things.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. All I know is if I want something done, I have to do it myself, and destiny has nothing to do with it. I have to make those decisions.
Just like when you say my name.
Say my name, say my name.
Are you choosing those decisions because it's part of your destiny?
I don't know. I reckon Cat's a survivor.
I could debate this topic. I could really debate this topic.
No? I think you got to stand up for what you love.
Just sat there and Googled Destiny Child song.
How about your choices are what creates your destiny?
Well, but
So
are they your choices?
Yeah,
Well, they
in
are.
that case, no, is that just destiny knowing that you're going to make these choices?
I don't know.
And they already know they're going to do
It's a
this.
choice you make. No, anyway, I'm going to stop that.
I don't know what I believe in anymore.
Well, what I do believe in is that City Surf is on the 15th,
I also believe
16th
that.
of
16th
March.
But was it Destiny that picked that? Was it
Well,
always
someone put it there.
Yeah.
Someone's choice.
Are we going to do that? Are we going to do the ad read now? Are we?
What time's
I guess so.
what time does it start? Out of interest. How early do I have to be up?
Like 8 a.m. or something, isn't it?
Oh,
I think so.
really?
2 events that weekend: City Surf and Sea to Sky.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
you're
are you doing
Sea
Sea
to
to Sky?
Sky.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a good wrap-up week.
Yeah, that will be.
Our most listened to episodes are wrap-ups.
I'm looking forward to
Recaps.
swimming with Marco Sharks in Sumner.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe swim a bit quicker.
Be like an episode of Jaws.
Yeah. It's quite open water. Can be uneasy sometimes, especially when it's murky water and you're like, I'm just out here with whatever's underneath
I
me
don't know
right
what's
now.
out there. Crazy.
There's also a lot of freedom to it, though.
Destiny
so I quite
could be
enjoy
out
it.
You could be Destiny.
Destiny.
Okay, I'll let it go.
It's going to happen. It's going to
Let
happen.
it go, Michael.
I try not to think about those things.
No, you're right. So City to Surf and Sea to Sky. 2 great events. It's a hell of a day for Christchurch because there's like 10 or 11,000 people in City to Surf. Do you know, on a funny note, the Round the Bays, have you heard anything about that?
Nope.
I thought it wasn't happening.
Yeah.
Is it happening?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I was just asking.
No, nothing.
Somebody was talking to me about doing it the other day, and I was like, I don't know if it's
I
still
don't think it's
still
going ahead.
So they changed the date, I think.
Trying to get more entries, but
Yeah.
To win.
nobody wants to do it.
No one wants to remember the ship ponds.
Unless
Wonder
they put
why.
up a damn lot of money.
So anyway, should we cover off the new Christchurch Marathon course?
Yeah, go on.
Yes, go on.
So
Looks exciting.
I'm pretty excited about this because I think corners suck.
When you're trying to run
And-
fast.
And Christchurch was always I would say this, the Christchurch is a half marathon event. It's like, there's an elite, and I don't mean that in terms of like just for elites, but an elite in terms of like the best half marathon course in the country. Like measured, flat, IAAF or World Athletics approved. Like it's the best half marathon course. It just so happens that there's a 10.5K and a marathon attached to it. But the new course, the new lap that I think has removed like nearly 9 or 12 corners a lap,
Yeah. It's huge.
which is
That's
and
a lot.
and that's exponential because like you can cope with it on lap 1 and 2, but you're getting real tired by lap 3 and 4.
Yep.
And so you're making up. It might be a second a corner on the first lap. It's like 3 seconds a corner when you're fucked and you're taking them wide because your ankles are sore and
Just getting out of rhythm and then trying
yeah.
to get back into rhythm.
So I think they've made some, like, it's not perfect, and they'll admit that. Like, we'll work on, but every year we get a few more people. They get a bit more budget. The council sees what they're going for. People get more invested in what's going on. I feel like they'll continue to get more and more people, and then better and better course, and then we'll be back to what it was, like that sort of super fast. Yeah, and I still like the fact that it's in the city and there's going to be people. So
I really liked it. I mean, some people had a lot of with it because there's laps, but I think that laps adds atmosphere to it
Oh, it's unreal.
because you can get people around the whole course.
Mm.
If you disappear and you're back in 42 Ks, it's a long time for some people to be out there by themselves, just running.
And as a spectator, you can go to multiple spots and
Yeah.
see people.
Yeah.
It's quite cool.
It's perfect.
And now that things like we're going to be able to use the whole of Harper Ave to run down, we don't have to run on the single trail, the single tar-sealed bit in Hagley Park, which is really narrow. And
Oh, they're going on the road.
yeah, the road all the way down to the corner.
Beautiful.
The fact that we no longer have to go around the back of the tennis courts and that shitty small path, we're going to run straight up the guts past the old Port Hills 5K series and run straight to the Armour Street Bridge down that big, wide, nice path.
It's huge.
Like it's
So much
That's
faster.
way better.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
like the only thing they've have done is do a lap round Cramner Square every loop just to make up the distance. But I'd live with a couple
is
of
fine.
90-degree turns because they're kind of sweeping.
Yeah.
Than those little stupid. And the finish line now is going to be on the other side of that path down Armour.
I guess.
So when you run another lap, you run straight through to Armour Street Bridge. When you've finished your distance, so whether 10K or whatever, you then go to the left of those bathrooms in the middle, which I have confirmed will be closed this year so we don't get people stepping out in front of us like Julie and I did a couple of years ago. You run straight down that path towards the Peterborough Street Bridge, and then you're just going to turn a really soft right onto the grass, where there'll be 200 metres on or 250 metres on the grass to finish whatever the distance is to make up.
That's gonna be awesome.
It's going to be
That sounds cool.
So much faster. And can you imagine from a spectator's point of view in that big open space where Hagley Relays is, you're going to have 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 people packed into the for spectating. Fuck me, that's going to be loud.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
Because when I was helping Andy last year, like I will remember the feeling you got when you came out of that treat area past the exercise equipment and the crowd knew you were coming. Holy shit. It was so loud. And because we're still a small community, everyone knew who you were. It was pretty...
It helps out massively.
It's pretty cool. So, and we were talking today, we're going to have an expo down there. Be in charge of the official shakeout run. Tom might kiss some babies, do some politician stuff. Yeah, so I think that's going to be awesome.
Exciting.
So, like, if it doesn't come through for Boston, I'll do that.
When
And,
will you know for sure about Boston?
I was really
You just
hoping
don't know.
I'd know yesterday, but I mean, I've kind of come to terms with
Yep.
that, like, and little ankle niggle and stuff is like, okay, do I really want to
Maybe
push
it's
my
telling
case
you.
for Boston?
Maybe destiny is saying
There you go. Maybe I wasn't destined to run Boston. Maybe no. I was too.
not this year, but maybe another
And sometimes
year.
you feel like when things get like I'm always for trying really hard, but you know when
Yep.
there's things that just like man, this is not working,
Yeah.
and you just
Yep.
sometimes you go, okay, well, is it trying to show me to do something else? Like, is there another opportunity somewhere? You know, maybe I need to run like Caden did in the Gold Coast, his 2:15:40 to open the door on some other stuff somewhere else. You know,
Destiny.
destiny. Yeah. So there's no free will. I tell you what, in a marathon, you've got no free will. Fuck. You are
We
just
leave that up to
you are
destiny.
being slip-slopped and slapped the whole way down. Yeah. that is some next
Can't
level
wait.
stuff.
So Notion's just been listening to us and putting
Yeah.
in what you've been reading.
I know. It's weird, eh? It says slip slop. So we use a Notion app. We make a writes a thing, and it's just literally put slip slop and slap in there. And it's
Slip, you write down a marathon. That's a new trademark.
Should we talk about some shoes? Are we there yet? Yeah,
I think we
we'll
are.
talk about some shoes.
So today we have the Asics Cumulus 27.
Yep.
And the Ride 18.
Or if you read it wrong, it'd be Cumulus.
Yeah. Cumulus. Why did they spell it like that? I don't know. Anyway.
Boys.
It is just. You're coming next week with fire.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
So can I explain why I picked we
Yes,
picked
go-
these two?
yeah.
So what I wanted to talk about was I wanted to talk about big toe flexibility, in particular extension, so that when you can pull your toe back up towards your shin. And why did I want to talk about that? I want to talk about that because I think it can be a precursor to shoe selection and whether or not you like to have a stiffer rocketed shoe or whether you like to have a more flexible forefoot shoe. And I feel like if you have a reasonable amount of motion in that big toe, you probably, not definitely, so don't come at me. I'm speaking in general terms. This is not medical advice and all that other stuff. you probably like a more flexible shoe. Now I can bend my big toe like back up on itself, but basically a lot of And what we know about Tom is he likes the stiff shoes. The stiffer shoes.
Stiffer shoes.
And then if you have a lack of range of motion, and we know that if someone's got a fused big toe joint, maybe they've got a fused ankle, maybe they've got a big toe problem, and that we're trying to limit the range of motion, we know that they way prefer a shoe that has a little bit of a stiffer forefoot, more of a rock, more toe spring, so it kind of rolls them off. You don't have to push through. And the opposite of that is if we put someone in with quite a flexible big toe that wants to try and push through the stiff forefoot of a rockage shoe, that will quite often lead to some
irritation.
I've
tried that and it just doesn't work. Yeah.
No. But I guess the other side of that is it's different when you're running fast and you have less ground contact time, and then the stiff shoes do work, which is why I think we talk about the racing shoes being for a harder effort, because you're running at a less ground contact time than what you're usually. So you hit off, and you need it kind of flings you off. So, in saying that, Saucony, Tom, Saucony. That one's just for you, Marshall. I know you're listening. Saucony.
My apologies.
You're not sorry.
No, I've just always thought it was Saucony. Saucony.
It does. Yep.
My vocab has been changed, Marshall.
So the Saucony Ride 18. Talk us through some of the stats, Tom.
It is weighing in at 259 grams.
Weighing in 259 grams in the red
size
corner.
9, I believe.
Can we do that with these two shoes?
In the red corner.
Well, they are competitors, aren't they not?
They are.
They're like for like. 35 mil, 27 in the front, so 8 mil drop. And it's, they say extra cushion, but I would say it's mild cushion. I wouldn't put it in an extra.
It's firm.
It's firmer. But it does have that flexibility in the front.
Beaded PIBA.
Yeah. A lot firmer than the Triumph and Tempest foam, which, I don't know, I guess they've managed to do it in a way which maybe it's cheaper because the price is a lot cheaper.
Yeah, so I think like the brief for that one is make me a daily trainer which is slightly more resilient and closer to the ground than the Triumph at $260.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
And I think it's got a couple of really nice...
Which is confusing though. Oh no, is this a different foam?
It's a firmer foam than the normal Power Run, but it's still a beaded PIBA.
And they call it the same thing.
Yeah. But we know that.
So look out for that.
Franchise of family. So it's definitely, I'd say it's like 30% harder than a Triumph.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It feels more like the H-frame of the Tempest.
Yes.
So I put 50k in a pair because after my little rolled ankle, I wanted something that was slightly closer to the ground, a little bit flatter and firmer so that I didn't feel too compromised if I was landing a little bit dodgy on that left ankle. Certainly bendy in the forefoot. I love the fact that the heel bevel, so the heel bevel is how the heel is scooped in the midsole. For those watching on YouTube, you can kind of see like it sort of scoops up at the back, is centered slightly to the lateral side, but pretty centered. So I like how they've done that. It gives you a really nice sort of like on the ground, hit the ground kind of feel. Really nice and flexible in through the forefoot traditional trainer. What I feel like is it's almost like the Power Run Plus has been like over stuffed in a way. Like it's not so there's not so much space between the and you can kind of feel that when you kind of push down on it. It's pretty resilient.
Yeah.
It fits really nice in through the heel. It's got a slightly skinnier heel counter, so I feel like it's got good lockdown. A couple of extra lace holes, which I've used, particularly on that medial side, just in the middle of the arch. It just feels like kind of hugs on better if I use that. Really nice round forefoot, feels good, and lots of space for my toes in the 8.5. So it does come in 2 widths as well. D and 2E for men and B and D for women. Nice filled in sort of midfoot, feels quite stable. It's probably not the perfect shape for my foot, but it's
pretty accommodating for most people, I would say.
I think value for money at $260 is
You still get a lot of shoe.
is really nice. So Power Run Plus midsole. It's nice. And then the Cumulus 27.
Yeah.
This sneaked in.
I didn't even know he had it.
No, and what I will say, Ride 18 full high abrasion carbonized rubber outsole. that thing is going to last forever.
Yeah.
There's like 1,000 shui. If you don't want a really soft cushion ride that you want it to last forever, I think what I did find this morning is it was raining a little bit, as it was a little bit slippery on the wet tassel. Yeah, I did find that.
This would be slippery on the wet tassel.
Yeah, so talk us through some stats for this one.
Fairly similar, 30-22, so still 8 mil drop, slightly less stack, and then 254 grams. So a few grams different, a few millimeters different in the stack. And again, they say extra cushioning, but I think still falls into that mild category, like medium cushion shoe, because they have a lot of shoes that are way more cushioned than
It's
this.
so confusing, man.
Yeah, so I don't know what chart they use for that, but
Do they go by the stack or do they go by the durometer reading? Or
no idea. Good question.
We can
I
debate
would
that.
say stack probably would be the indicator, but
Because I find some of those super high stack shoes really hard.
yeah.
Like the Super Blast feels so firm.
Yeah, so I have no idea. That's an Asics question.
So slightly stiffer forefoot, a lot more toe spring than the Ride 18. So it's kind of the way it's pulled up. The outsole, midsole is pulled up onto the upper. Definitely gives you sort of your toe is held up like this, trying to mean that you don't have to go there yourself. You want to roll it off the front. I'm putting this in the stable neutral category, where I'm putting the Ride 18 just in the neutral category. And I'm putting this in the stable neutral category because it does have some quite good sidewalls,
Right.
particularly in that hind foot around the calcaneus. So you are sitting down for those
Does
watching on
cut,
YouTube.
yeah, it does
it cup it really well because this, for all intensive purposes, is almost the same foam as a Nova Blast. Now, but it looks completely different on someone with a slightly more mobile foot, right?
Yep.
And that's because of these sidewalls and being slightly close to the ground and the really nice filled-in midfoot. So across the arch of the foot, it's probably nearly a centimetre wider than the Ride 18, which is going to give you that more stable feel. So if you like that sort of grounded, more cushioned feel, that makes sense, you might prefer how much midsole is going to touch your foot all the time rather than have some space in the arch if you're kind of leaning over the upper of the Ride 18. The rubberized EVA outsole, this makes the ride smoother. So what it is it's a EVA with rubber mixed into it. And so that kind of gives it a bit more durability than just the midsole, but definitely less than a really hard carbonized rubber. But what you'll notice if you run in, say, a Nova Blast versus a Cumulus, the Nova Blast might sound a little slappy, like you kind of hit down on it. This just rolls along. You don't hear it because it's not as hard.
Smooth the transition.
It's a much smoother transition. Again, this comes in multiple widths. So I think it's actually 3 widths. 2A, B, and D for women, so narrow, standard, and wide. And then for men, it comes in a D, a 2E, and a 4E, so standard, wide, and widest. And a couple of colours. I'm not so sure about this colour. I'm not so sure.
weird off pink. Why didn't you choose this shoe over the Saucony?
Because of the flexibility of my big toe.
Oh.
Yeah, so I feel like I have run in a sample pair of these. Asics very kindly gave me a pair to run. I put sort of 180K, and I just found out it just stirred up my big toe tendon.
Yep.
I just wanted to be able to push through the front more. I think if you watch me run, I kind of drive quite hard out of that stance phase, and I wanted to be able to kind of bend it. It's still very comfortable. When we first saw this stuff 2 years ago, Cumulus 26.
Yeah.
I struggled to see where it was going to fit because you're looking at like fun shoes like Nova Blast and stuff, and then you kind of got Nimbus, whatever. And you're like, where does this go? It makes sense now. When you see it in people's feet and you run it and you go, okay, stable, neutral, and then Nova Blast is like neutral fun. Like you kind of.
There's definitely a place for it, yeah.
Still retails for $260. I think it's great value. Someone's running 3 or 4 days a week, likes a little rock off the front. Maybe doesn't like how high off the ground Hoka is, but still wants a bit of a feel of that. What other shoes would you compare it to, Tom?
880 maybe?
Yeah, I don't know. I was going to say Neo Zen, but it's a little bit more rigid in the front than the Neo Zen.
Nothing
Nothing off the top of my head.
Nike Peg. Oh, maybe.
Yeah,
Or
kind of.
Pig Premium.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know. I haven't tried those shoes on, so
I'm rolling through the brands in my head.
it's hard to.
Rincon,
Yeah.
Hoka Rincon.
Oh, Mark.
Oh, it's not
Or
as
is it?
flexible. It's more stiff than a Marks. It's probably more like a
Yeah.
Rincon. I'm going through the brands in my head. It's nothing from Brooks that compares to it. I mean, they'd say the Ghost, but the Ghost bends like the Ride, so
Yeah.
it's kind of the Ghost and the Ride are more similar.
Kind
than
of by itself.
it's kind of a weird understacked Nimbus.
Yeah, so if you feel like you've got way too much foam in the Nimbus, then this could be the shoe for
Yeah.
you.
And just a good price point. So, yeah, 2 nice shoes, 2 good price points.
Yeah.
Same idea, 2 different executions. Yeah, that's where we're at with that. Shoes and stuff.
Poll of the week.
Poll of the week. Poll of the week. Do you know?
Some people don't agree with any of this, but
Yeah.
go ahead.
I think there's going to be some crossover here with the non-showerers.
Yeah. Where do they fit into this
Can I tell
puzzle
you?
of ours?
Can I tell you a funny story?
You may.
So, Katie, my wife, kind of refuses to listen to us because she thinks we're childish.
We
Accurate.
are.
Which is and I say, well, I get it out of an hour and a half of the week with Tom and Kat so that I can be serious all the other times at home. She decided that she might listen to a couple episodes. The first episode she listens to is the one where I make the sexual innuendo
Of course.
about her being good on a pole. No shit, she hasn't. She just randomly just flicked up Spotify. Boom, listen.
Oh no, she picked the wrong one.
And then she's like, and then I listened to 15 minutes and it was going okay. And then you made a stupid joke about our sex life on a podcast. And I turned that thing right off. I was like,
Oh, I've lost a subscriber now.
yeah. And then she roasted me and Tom on some stuff about the Caden podcast.
One less listener.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, well.
Oh, well. So be it. Poll of the week this week. I don't know how we came up with this. Did I come up with it?
You put it in the chat. I
Did I
think.
put it in the
Yeah.
I think I was angry at the washing.
Probably. Sounds like it.
Have you seen that the Instagram reel where there's like the husband with the ADHD wife and he's like, and here's some presents that my ADHD wife leaves me, and it's just like clothes hanging out of the dryer, like she hasn't taken all of them out and put them in a basket. It's just like hanging out all over the floor. All the kitchen doors are open, and he's like, "Oh, she's so thoughtful. I don't have to open them for myself." And there's like 6 glasses on the bedside table, and he's like, "Oh, she's so thoughtful. There's always a drink for me." Like that's me. I leave.
Do you leave the cupboard doors? That's a pet peeve of mine.
So
That's
there's a small story which I don't mind sharing. Part of that is because I spent some time living with my grandma when I was a teenager, and she used to work nights as a registered nurse manager, and so I couldn't make much noise, and closing the doors and the drawers in the kitchen would make noise. So like I genuinely had to leave them open, and so I think it's like
It's habit now.
it's habit where I like don't close them fully. Because like she never really get mad, but you could tell like if I woke her up, that's so shit. Because sleeping during the day is average anyway. But that's a true story.
Okay, I can understand that.
Yeah.
You can
Anyway.
leave them open.
Yeah,
Childhood trauma.
I'm not. Yes,
Literally.
we got a lot of childhood trauma. Maybe we could do a childhood trauma podcast.
Oh,
Kat.
man.
Guess no, I'm not even going to entertain
I'm
that.
not opening that up.
They're going to leave that can of worms in the can. So poll of the week this week: reusing running gear after a run. How do we want to do this?
Yes or no?
Yes or no? Yeah.
Okay, well, running, absolutely. This has to go in the washing machine straight away. I just sweat way too much. Gym though, I can probably get a couple gym sessions before.
Like, are you getting like if you put like a sweated on sports bra, is that like salt wick chafing?
Oh, I couldn't even think of anything worse.
I mean, I could think of a few things worse, but
I'm quite happy to reuse a t-shirt.
are you
If
a
it's-
smelly sweater?
If I'm not crazy sweaty, like a half an hour run, I don't sweat that much. That's fine. But pants, nah. Like shorts, I'll wash those after every run.
Did we talk about how the on racing shorts?
Oh, we haven't talked about it on here.
Have
but
we talked about it on
yeah.
here? The on racing shorts. Kat just wants some more food right now. She doesn't give a fuck.
Tell me about the shorts.
the on shorts have a dick and ball pouch.
Oh yeah, you did tell me that. Yeah.
Package holder.
I kind of like it.
I need to try it.
It's like they're being. It's kind of like they're just being this little
Cuddled.
We showed JC. He's like, not big enough. That's the first thing he said. Not big enough.
I don't know how I feel about it.
Not gonna fit.
But it's kind of like just like little silky,
it, like,
silky hand.
Kind of makes sense.
Mm.
Because there has been some experience in the past where, not me personally, but in races in America, where
Things have slipped out.
things have slipped out because they haven't been
They
wearing
had
the
no
right
package.
size short. And yeah, free for all, for everyone to see. Not pleasant. And like those shorts are pretty revealing at the best of times. There's not much to them. So maybe just a little bit of reassurance that it's all going to stay in place is probably quite nice.
I wore mine to the gym the other day just to flex that I had the shortest shorts because I was sick of seeing all the girls in short shorts. I was like, I can do this too.
I can be you.
I think I just look like a creep. I was like, I'm going to wear my small on racing shorts, 1.5 inch.
Yeah.
You do not want to be doing hip thrusts in those.
Did you just say 1.5 inch?
Yeah.
The
1.5 inch splitties.
Holy.
But they got a ball pouch, so they can't slip
so
out.
It doesn't matter, yeah. It's like nothing. But like that short, yeah.
It's like the new
crazy.
Say Sky ones that I've got. They are old school,
Real.
like 80s
Oh, jeez.
Oh man.
vibe.
We're in for it.
Yeah,
Just marathon,
maybe
you hit
Coming
it
back
first.
around.
maybe
Oscar's running in his underwear.
maybe I'll wear them. Wow, okay. Oh, I mean, I can if you want.
1.5 inches.
That's basically
his underwear.
I mean, Ben Harris is going to do it in a Borat
True.
mankini. We better just touch on Run Club real quick before Kat has to go to work, and Tom and I should do some work for the day. Run Club was fun last night.
Yep. Did a good session in the park.
Yep.
3, 4, 5, 4, 3 minutes.
I got roasted for getting it wrong at the
You
start.
got it wrong, and everyone had already put it in their watches, so.
I felt like changing it just to be a prick.
That would have been so mean.
That would have been
Annoyed
quite
a
mean.
lot of people probably.
No, so we did a 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, and then finished by 3 by 150 leg speed. Some
I
people
think
didn't.
they loved that, eh?
They did, yeah.
Yeah.
Some people didn't listen to my advice and only do 85% of their max. Some people went out 100.
Sam.
And blew his
Hammy.
hammy out. Fuck. Can't tell some people. And then, so that was fun. And we had a
Sam
good
should be
turnout.
better.
60 odd people, 65 odd people again. And so next week we got Hanson's Park on the basketball court, just before 6 p.m. for some hill reps.
Love it.
Love it.
And then it's only a few weeks to race day.
Don't
It'll
say
be a
that.
month, wouldn't it?
Yep. Oh,
Next week.
5 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We on.
That's crazy.
We on.
It's coming round quick.
She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. Do you want to finish up with a Austin Powers quote?
I eat because I'm unhappy. And I'm unhappy because I eat. I would say the vagina one, but
No.
What is it?
We don't need to
my
go
neck
there.
looks
My
like
neck
a,
looks
looks
like
like
a
a vagina. Anyone born after 2005 has no idea what we're talking about.
I still don't.
Have you watched it?
Nope.
Oh, we're watching the memes. What is it? What else does he say? The baby back ribs. That's pretty bad.
I want my baby
Baby back ribs. Took me till I was like 19 to figure out what he was actually meant. And then I was like, whoa, it's... Could you make an Austin Powers movie now? Or would it get like woked
It
out?
would be cancelled.
Yes, maybe.
Someone
I'll have
should...
to rewatch it and see.
We should have a watch party. How many is there? 3?
3.
All right.
Austin Powers.
You heard it here
Jesus.
first. Cat's neck looks like a vagina.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. All right, team. Have a great week. Eat your veggies.
Bye.